Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss the exercise 3 of Cambridge IGCSE English as a Second Language past year paper of 2019. This is paper 2, which is reading and writing for extended level candidates. Okay, so I want to mention here one thing, that no matter whether you are taking extended level or core level, both of the candidates can refer to this video because there are only some additional questions at the end of exercises for the extended level candidates. Rest, the paper and the questions are similar for both the extended as well as the core level. Without wasting time, let us move to exercise 3. And if you want the tutorials of exercise 1 and 2, you can refer to the videos given, and you can refer to the video link given in the description box. So the exercise 3 is about reading an article about the discovery of a new type of fish and then completing the notes. Okay, so in this particular exercise, what we are going to do, we are going to first look at the questions, and then after reading the questions, we'll have an idea that on what points or on what points in the article we are going to get the answer, and we are going to note down our important points, because we are in with the help of this trick, we are not going to waste our entire time reading the entire article. We just require those particular points which are written in our question, and it is very important to utilize our time and manage it very precisely in order that we have more and more time for our writing sections, that is exercise 4, 5, and 6 of the paper 2. Okay, so let's move on to the questions, and we need to keep the questions in our mind so that while reading the article, we can note down our answers. You're going to give a talk about the discovery of the new fish to your class at school. Prepare some notes to use as the basis for your talk. Make short notes under each heading. How this newly discovered fish behaves differently from other walking fish. So there is a question, there is a comparison, we can say, that how this newly discovered fish, it behaves differently from the other walking fishes. So we have to refer to those points in which there is a comparison which is being made between the newly discovered fish and the other walking fishes. Okay, so what's the second question? What scientists might learn from the discovery of this new fish? So what are the things which the scientists are going to learn from this new fish, okay, from this discovery of this new fish? And what's the last question? Why it was difficult for scientists to study this new fish? Okay, so why it was difficult for scientists to study this new fish? So what are the three questions? There we have to look for the comparison in which the new fish is, how it is behaving differently from the other walking fishes, what scientists might learn from this discovery of this new fish, and what are the difficulties which are faced by the scientists in order to study this new fish. Okay, now let's go back to the article and we'll start reading it. Okay, so the discovery of an important little fish. When Dr. Brooke Fleming first watched a video of a new fish that had recently been discovered in Thailand, she couldn't believe what she was seeing. The fish was walking, but it wasn't the walking that amazed her. Dr. Fleming is a scientist who studies the way fish move, or she is used to seeing fish that appear to walk over rocks or through fast-flowing water. It was how the fish was walking that surprised her. While any other so-called walking fish jumps or slides forward using its tail, this new fish uses its four fins to walk. So, did you all notice? Here is a comparison. While any other so-called walking fish jumps or slides forward using its tail, this new fish, it uses its four fins to walk. Okay, so we have got one of the points for the first question. Okay, because there it was asked how the newly discovered fish is different from the other walking fishes. Okay, so let's move further. In fact, it was exactly like a land animal with four legs. Okay, so again, there is a comparison which is made. It walks like exactly like a walks exactly like a land animal with four legs. And she knew this was very unusual. So how we have noticed that there is a comparison, because she's saying, or she's knowing that this activity is very unusual, which means it is not found in the other fishes. So it's not directly written that there is a comparison, but we need to understand with this statement that she knew this was very unusual, that the author has made a comparison in a very unique way. Okay, easily will not be able to judge that whether there is a comparison or not, so we can miss this point, okay, while making our notes. So let's move further. So we have got the second point for our answer. Sorry, this is the second point of our first answer only, so we are going to write one here. Okay, so we have got 2 points for our first answer. She was amazed and knew straight away that the discovery could be significant, as it would offer scientists a fantastic opportunity to gather information about why the fish moves in this unique way. So, you are able to find there is an answer for the second question. Like, we have got a point for our second question. What the scientists are going to learn from the discovery of this new fish. So, they are going to get a fantastic opportunity to gather information about why this fish moves in this unique way. Okay, let's move further. Fish which is pink and has no eyes has only been found in 8 caves in Ireland. So there is a third answer. Like, why it was very difficult to study this fish? Because they are only being found in the 8 caves in Thailand. Okay, so that's why we are going to keep all our questions in mind, in order that when we are reading the article, we directly get and note down our answers, and we need not to read the questions again and go back to article and read the article again and again. Okay, this is how we are going to save our time. It was filmed by a team of scientists working there, so Dr. Fleming contacted them to ask how she could get hold of one of the blind cave fish for her research. It turned out that only around 2,000 exist in the wild, so researching them was not going to be straightforward. Okay, so we have got another point for our third question. Only around 200 exist in the wild. That's why it was difficult to study them. Okay, now let's move forward. We have got 2 points for our first question and 2 points for our third question. However, Dr. Flamand was determined to further investigate the behavior of the newly discovered fish. She had observed in the video how the fish walks and knew that this was very unusual. But more crucially, she believed that fish might show us what life on Earth looked like 400 million years ago. So, what the scientists might learn that what life on Earth looked like 400 million years ago. So, this is another point for the second question. This was when living creatures moved from the ocean to the land. Since she was not allowed to remove the fish from the caves, she had to come up with a new way of observing them. So what was the another difficulty? She was not allowed to remove the fish from the caves. Okay. So that's why this is one of the difficulties which they were facing in order to study the newly discovered fish. Okay, so this is one of our which point? This is the point for the third question. What was the difficulty which they are facing, right? Okay, so let's move forward. She had to come up with a new way of observing them. First, she requested help from a Thai scientist, Dr. Apinan Suvarnaraksha. Dr. Suvarnarakasha needed to obtain special permission from the Thai government to examine the new fish and film more detailed videos of it in the caves. These videos provided Dr. Fleming with more examples of its unusual behavior. Okay, amazingly, the videos showed that this fish climbs waterfall using its body to grip the rock. Previously, I had only seen walking fish doing this using the force of water to swim up the waterfall. Okay, so again, there is a comparison between the walking fish and the newly discovered fish. That this newly discovered fish climbs waterfall using its body to grip the rock. Okay, so this is point for the first question. As well as filming new videos, Dr. Suvarnarakasha was able to produce a detailed image of the inside of the new fish. This showed that some of its bones were similar to those of land animals. Okay, it seems that the fish skeleton is designed so that it keeps it stay straight as it walks, which is unlike the typical tail movement of other walking fishes. Okay, so again, there is a comparison between the walking fish and the newly discovered fish, that it keeps its tail straight as it walks. Okay, so this is which point? This is point for first question. Okay, which is unlike the typical tail movement of other walking fishes. It really is exciting. This little fish might help us understand how living creatures first learn to walk. So there's another answer for the second question, I think. Yes, because this little fish might help us understand how living creatures learn to walk. So from here, we are going to mark the answer, how living creatures first learn to walk. This is a point for the second part, second question, the 12th one. And without the help of Dr. Suvarnarakasha, we never would have made these discoveries, said Dr. Fleming. Dr. Fleming believes that her experience is an example of how working in international teams and using technologies can bring great research results for scientists. Our next goal is to find out whether they are our earliest living ancestors. Okay, so this is one of their tasks, which is one of the questions in our third part, I think. Whether they are our earliest ancestors, no. Yeah, this is for the a point for the 12th question. That is the second part of this. Okay. We have come up with really exciting results so far. Okay. So have we got all our answers? Yeah, there is a point left, which we have left for the third answer. Need to obtain special permission from the Thai government in order to examine the fishes. This was one of the difficulties which they faced. Okay, so I think I have completed. So I have written 1 for the points of question number 11. I have written 2 for the points of question number 12 and 3 for the points of question number 13. Okay, so we have got 1, 2, 3. We have got 3 points for first part, and we have got, I think we have got more than 3 points for the first part. First is this one, second is this one. Yeah, this is also 1. Okay, so this is also 1. I have left this one. Okay, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4 points for the question number 11. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4 points for the question number 12. We have to write only 3, and we have got 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have got 4 points again for question number 13, but we are going to write only 3 for each one of them. Okay, so let's write and complete this exercise. For question number 11, we are going to write. First point was uses its 4 pens to walk. Okay, next point was walks exactly like a land animal. You can write with 4 legs, or you can just omit with 4 legs. Okay, keep in mind that you are not going to write anything here, anything here. You are just going to complete your answers in the up till the dotted lines are given. Okay, anything if you're going to write here or anything before the dotted lines, after the dotted lines, then there is a probability that you'll not be marked for such answers. Okay, for the answers written outside the space given. Okay, so the next point is climbs waterfalls using its body. The next one, we are going to write the first point was why it moves in this way, why it moves in this unique way. The next point was what life on earth looked like 400 million years ago. And the next one is how living creatures learned to walk. Points for question number 13 are only been found in 8 caves. We can write in Thailand or we can just omit it. Then also you'll be getting the marks. Only around 2000 exist. Next one is not allowed to remove from caves. Okay, so we have completed our exercise 3, and this is how we are going to proceed. First of all, we are going to go through the questions which are given there, and then we'll go back to the article and we'll keep the questions in our mind and we'll read the article, and in that time only we are going to note down our points for our questions. Okay, in this way we are going to save our time, and at the end we are going to write all the answers all together. Okay, so thank you.